What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to try and win the Stanley Cup with an expansion team in the first season. We get started here, guys, with the expansion mode. I'm going to do, of course, a 33-team expansion. I actually mentioned in my latest poll for the franchise series what team I should do, and a bunch of you want to see me do an expansion team. So I'm also kind of using this video as like practice for the expansion draft. Now for this team here, guys, I'm actually just going to be the Quebec Nordiques. They're already pre-made in Vasi's roster. After they relocated to Colorado and the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup in their first season, I'm hoping Quebec Nordiques here can win the Stanley Cup in their first season as a new expansion team. And now put me in the Pacific Division, which I don't think makes a lot of sense for Quebec. Obviously, we should be in the Atlantic Division there with Montreal. I will say, though, I think, try and give us a little bit of an extra help here. Maybe if we go in the Atlantic Division, Detroit can go back to the Central, and then with Detroit in the Central, maybe we send Arizona back into the Pacific. If you look at a map, like Arizona probably should be in the Pacific. Like they're pretty close to Vegas. They're also kind of south of Colorado, but there you go. Kind of a more classic Central Division. Make it a little bit more fun too, mixing the divisions up here. Also too, guys, I have Seattle exempt here from the draft just because that makes the most sense, I think. Vegas was exempt from Seattle, so they should be exempt from ours. And now the draft results are in, guys. As you can see there, Columbus picking first overall. We dropped from 3 to 4. So usually in like the extra 2023 draft for the expansion mode, you've got 5 elite players at the top of the draft, and then after that, it's honestly kind of crap. So unless we get super lucky, it probably won't matter. Luckily, we are, picking number 4 in case there's only 4 guys opposed to 5. But first things first, the main reason we're doing this video, we've got the expansion draft. So I think the first thing I'm curious about, Boston Bruins. Are we going to get like a 90 overall goalie here in Swayman or Allmark? Wow. They protect Allmark, leave Swayman available. That is crazy. So immediately we have an 89 overall starting goalie, one of the best goalies in the NHL. That's why he was at the All-Star game. I can't believe that. I'm not sure who Arizona is protecting, but they left Sean Durzi available. 2042 low elite defenseman. What the heck? If you guys are wondering, I think I mentioned before, using Vasi's roster here. I know EA has him at like an 85 or an 86. Probably a little bit too high, based on just this season. Now, the Ducks have a bunch of different options, so I'm going to wait on them. Buffalo Sabres here. Let's see. Victor Olofsson, Eric Johnson. Honestly, they got Peyton Krebs available. 2279, medium top 6. Either he can be like a bottom 6 player for us, or potentially use them in a trade. I'm thinking too, guys, I'm only going to allow myself a max of 3 trades. That way it's relatively, the same team we started with. Chris Tanev available. 84 overall. Could take him, or we could take Dustin Wolf, medium elite goalie. Medium elite goalies don't have a lot of value in this game, so I think I'm going to stick with the Tanev pick, because like worst case too, we could actually use him, where Wolf only being a 79 doesn't help us too much. Brent Burns available. I think that is a very easy pick. Yeah, anti-rant there, not worth it. What the heck? Chicago left Taylor Hall available? Some of these protection lists make no sense to me. How are the Blackhawks not protecting Taylor Hall? Like, they have nobody good on the team. I would say he's the second best forward. Like, who are they protecting over him? And now look at the Avs here, guys. Definitely going to take Samuel Girard. He can often sim pretty well if he's like your number 1 power play guy. I think for the Ducks, for the time being, just because Clore and Henrique, they both have big contracts, I'm going to take Lucas Dostal to be our backup, and if we have the money, can maybe go and take somebody else. Andrew Peak there would be like a solid bottom pair defenseman, only making 2.75. Like, we've already got almost an entire top 6D. Now really just trying to find some forwards. Hakanpää as well could be a really solid bottom 6. He's 6'6". Just a shutdown guy. I feel like we don't have to overthink it. Could take him, especially only making 1.5 million. Thomas Harley here, you can see 81 overall. Hasn't gotten that big, overall boost yet in the Vasi roster I'm using. So, since we are trying to win right now, I think Hakanpää is just huge for the PK. Like, 5-star defense. He had good physical as well. I can't believe passing on Thomas Harley, who's just been on a hot streak lately. We got our defense now. Could take David Perron. Also could take Gostisbehere. Interesting. I'm going to take Gostisbehere. That way maybe we can, like, trade one of our guys. I think I get a lot of players like Perron. Oilers here, not a lot to go off of, honestly, for like 775k. Let's take Corey Perry, throw him on the 4th line. Florida Panthers up next, could take Gustav Forsling there. Again, you're always going to have way better defensemen, honestly. With his cap hit, I think, we're going to definitely trade some guys, bring in some superstars. Victor Arvidsson, definitely 84, only making 2.75. I think he's going to be a good player for us. Probably make our top 6. Marcus Foligno, at that price, I think he's very solid in the bottom 6. Trying to build a perfect team. What we're basically missing is a 1C and a 2C, and that's what we'll be looking to trade for. At this point, Harvey Pinard could put into the bottom 6. I don't really need Savard at 3.5 million. Goalies, Jake Allen, kind of expensive. Kane Primo, only a low starter. Now looking at Nashville here, Ryan McDonough, 83, making a lot of money. He's got shot block. Tyson Barrie, usually can sim pretty well if you give him power play time. Wasn't making a ton of money. Again, we're going to have some options on defense. Eric Halla, 82. He's got the quick draw. Could be a solid third-line center for us. We still got like 34 million in cap space. Let's take him. Look at the Islanders next. Anders Lee, way too much money. Romanov, 82, making 2.5. Now, we could also take Semyon Varlamov, 84, 2.75. Have him back up Swayman. We'd actually have an insane goalie duo. Now, on the Rangers, you got a ton of guys to choose from. Condre Miller there, 84 overall defenseman. Ryan Lindgren is obviously solid, 83 shutdown guy. Philip Hiddle, Alexis Lafreniere, they did not protect. Braden Schneider, Capo Caco. Again, like, who are the Rangers protecting if these guys are all available? I think you got to go for the first overall pick, right? Put Lafreniere in the top 6 with a couple other good players. Maybe can actually perform for us. Even though Condre Miller is 2 overall higher, I feel like our defense is already, more than good enough. Senators here. Kubalik, could throw him on like a third line. Eric Brandstrom, Ridley Gregg, would have some value potentially in a trade. Bernard Docker. So is Kubalik worth taking? I think we probably get more out of Gregg if we do choose to trade him. Could also just have him as a 4th liner. Travis Sanheim. Wow, 85 defensemen available. Why would Philly not protect him? It's like him, Drysdale, Cam York. I feel like those are your 3 defensemen. I don't know. And then they do 7 forwards. Interesting one to me. So I think even though he's making 6.25, we got to take him. Again, we'll definitely be trading away some D-man after this draft. Peterson might be the guy. Again, you're looking to trade these defensemen. The Sharks here, not a lot to choose from, that is for sure. I think Nico Sturm, even though he's a 79, could be a really good 4th line center. Now St. Louis here, Oscar Sundqvist, I think he's a good 4th liner, 81 overall, and again, making a league minimum. We like that. Next year, guys, got the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tanner Jeannot, kind of making a lot of money. But honestly, it might be worth it if it gives us, really solid physical players there, playing in the right role. TJ Brody, 85, making $5 million. You got Yarncroc, 82, only making 2.1. Giordano, interesting. Brody's making a lot, but he's very solid defensively. If we have, him on a line with Barry, Gostisbehere, with, Hakanpää, we could actually have a really good defense. Canucks up next here. We can't take a defenseman. We've already got way too many. They've honestly got nothing here to take. DeSmith, I guess? They really have, no one else worth choosing. Next year, guys, we get the Vegas Golden Knights. Jonathan Marchessault. What? Hey, this guy just won the Conn Smythe, and they're not protecting him. Again, the protection lists from some of these teams make absolutely no sense. Maybe they're getting screwed over by a bunch of, no trade clauses or something. So, Marchessault we have to take. The guy just won the Conn Smythe. That one's easy. He'll be a first-line winger for us. The Capitals here, no Ovechkin available. Could take TJ Oshie, but way too much money. Protas, 81 overall. Only make 800K this year. He does have an extension, but we're trying to win the Stanley Cup in the first year. I think he could be a solid bottom 6 player for us. And we only got 1 pick left, guys. We got 3 million in cap space. Niederreiter, $4 million. Iaffello the same. Iaffello, very solid defensively. We wanted him on the 3rd line. Niederreiter here, obviously more of a scorer. I feel like we kind of got the scoring guys. Would it let me take Iaffello? It does let me take him. Okay, so I think I'm actually pretty happy with this team. Again, we got tons of defensemen to choose from in terms of who's actually going to make our top 6. We're mainly looking here for a 1C, a 2C, but overall, I think, yeah, Taylor Hall, first line left wing, Marchessault, first line right wing, then just find someone to play in the middle. This team's going to be pretty good. And so right here, guys, a quick recap of all of our picks. Again, I'm honestly surprised by some of the names that are available to draft. I don't know what these GMs are thinking, but just kind of par for the course with the NHL 24 AI GMs. They make terrible decisions all the time. And so at the draft now, guys, we'll take a look at the draft class. Are you kidding me? There's a medium franchise guy available. Gonna go first overall. Usually it's just medium elites. There's a medium elite at 2, 3, 4. We'd be getting this Sergei Kalinin guy. Similar style to Brent Burns, who we drafted. NHL ready. Interesting. Then you got a guy at 6, actually. Also medium elite, but not NHL ready. So we're gonna be good no matter what. Might as well try and make a play for the franchise. It's just a 1-year sim. It's just for fun. This Nordiques team. There's no way we'd ever get these good of players in an expansion draft. And right here, you guys can see all the trade values for these players. Chris Tanev actually has the 2nd most, so yeah, I think it did make sense to take him over Dustin Wolf. I think 2 guys on top only making 3 trades. I'm going to say we can't trade any picks past, the end of the 2024 season, so 2 draft classes to work with. I think for a trade, we have to offer up the 4th overall pick. Are we willing to give up 2 firsts here? I think the franchise guy could be insane. Let's do it. Why not? 2 first-round picks for the Columbus 1st overall. They still say no. Wow, we have to add a lot. I'm going to try throwing Peterson back on this deal. They're still saying no. Unfortunately, guys, could not get a trade to happen. We just didn't have the assets. They didn't want the 2 first-round picks. Wesley Giuliani here. 80 overall, medium franchise potential playmaker. What a pick there for the Blue Jackets. We'll take a Sergei Kalinin here. Would have liked that franchise center, but probably not going to get him from the CBJ now. Alright guys, so next we're trying to make a trade for that first line center. We're looking for Sean Couturier on the block for the Flyers. Pretty big contract. Luckily though, we have a lot of guys we can send out. 87 overall, does it all. One of the best two-way forwards in the game. Also trying to get back a second, third, and fourth in 2024, so we can kind of use those picks in later deals. Offering up Peterson there, Girard. We got a lot of defensemen. We got to move some guys out that got good value. And then a second, third, fourth this year. Again, just try to move those picks to next year. Still have them available for us. Really not too many great players available in this draft. We'll see what the Flyers say. The value's on our side. Trade's accepted. Okay, so I think that's a big-time trade for us. We now have our 1C. All right, guys, and now next year I'm trying to trade the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've got Morgan Rielly on the block. I feel like Rielly's often a beast in this game. Offensive defenseman there. He can be our number one guy on the power play. So I'm trying to go from like quantity to quality here. You can see offering up Forsling, who is on the outside of the top 6 looking in. Gostisbehere, same thing. Was maybe going to be our power play guy. But if we can get Morgan Rielly, I think that makes a lot more sense. Same goes for Tyson Barrie. Andrew Peeke also didn't quite make it. First round pick. We also get back Max Domi, who could be, I think, our second line center. Tyler Bertuzzi could be either on the second or third line. We're getting some pretty nice pieces back here. And we're trading from this position where we have, like, too many defensemen we know what to do with. Let's see what the Leafs say to this. Trade's accepted. Okay, so I think the team's looking a lot better now. We can still make one more trade, which I think we're going to save till the deadline. As you can see there, we got a ton of like second and third round picks. We've also still got our medium elite guy. All right, guys, so after those 2 trades, here's what the team is looking like. Honestly, I feel like they should be a playoff team. Definitely should be one of the best defensive teams in the league. Maybe not too much, offense. As you can see here, first line, you got Taylor Hall, Sean Couturier, Jonathan Marchessault. Like, that's not too bad. Second line, Arvidsson, Domi, Lafreniere. On the third, you got Iafallo, Hala, and Bertuzzi. Fourth line there, I think it's probably one of the very fourth lines in the league. Janot, Sturm, and Foligno. All 3 of them have X factors. And now in terms of the defense, guys, we got Riley on the top pair playing with Brent Burns. So this is going to be a pretty offensive top pair. Tanev, Brody on the second pair. And then on the bottom pair there, you got Sanheim and Hakanpää. So, like, that defense looks really, really good. Sanheim's the only one without an X factor. Goaltending, of course. Swayman's our starter. Varlamov there backing him up. Like, you look at power play 1 here, it's getting a +5. We actually got the 2 defensemen there. That looks solid. I think, look at PK here, it's a +4. Overall, our team, has really no holes. And in terms of getting to the deadline, still have some guys we could trade, like a Peyton Krebs, Ridley Gregg, Harvey Pinard, Perry, probably just going to be AHL stars for us. Sean Durzi will probably flip as well at the deadline. Maybe Dossler to Smith, like we took them just in case. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with this team. Currently, we're 4-2 in the preseason, and Marchessault there is averaging over a point per game. It'll probably show it here too, guys, but I gave Couturier the C just because he's the highest rated guy on the team. And I think he looks pretty good there in the Nordique jersey, if you guys are curious. Right there's what the home looks like as well. Right there's the alternate. And our ratings here, we've got 91 offense, 93 defense, 89 goaltending. Should be a fun season. All right, guys, so we're a few days away from the trade deadline now. The Islanders just fired their head coach. It's pretty funny, of course, that happened in real life. They then hired Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh, of course, played for the Avalanche, which is the team the Nordiques became. So kind of cool. We're crushing it. I don't know if you saw, we're first place in the Atlantic Division, 84 points there. Are we first place? No. Canucks are first in the NHL, 91. Avalanche are number 287. We're tied with the Oilers there at third place in the NHL. But pretty good for an expansion team, I'd say. I'm definitely a little bit surprised. I didn't think they'd be doing this well. Marchessault averaging over a point per game. He's got 71. I was looking to one big thing I think with this, of course, is the coaching staff. They give us a really good head coach to start who's A- overall. Also, we've got 95 staff chemistry. I mean, I've never had staff chemistry that high, I don't think, ever in a franchise mode. So that's going to be helping out some as well. We'll get to the deadline here. Clearly, we're buyer. We can only make one more trade, so got to make sure it's a big one. I think probably going to be something like the medium elite guy we drafted, since we're not using him. Durzi, one of our center prospects, a couple second rounders. Could get Shea Theodore. I mean, we have Riley, though. Does it make sense? I still think our biggest need is a 2 seed. Somebody to play behind Couturier. Domi's not bad, but we could have somebody better. Brodin, Pietrangelo, Jones. Of course, we're at a deadline. All the best players are defensemen when that's exactly what we don't need. Chandler Stevenson there, Tarasenko, William Karlsson wouldn't be too bad. Hannafin, Patrick Kane, Wallman. Basically, I'm just going to put together my best offer and see what kind of return we can get. All right, guys, so making the Seattle Kraken a massive offer here to get Matty Beniers. 1 year left there on his entry-level deal. 88 overall. Very good two-way forward. Kind of like Sean Couturier. I feel like he fits perfectly with our team identity. He's very good two-way players. Hedman just there for the roster spot. Trading them Kalinin, who, of course, is the guy we just drafted 4th overall. Durzi, a couple seconds. Ridley Gregg. They like all the players. The value's on our side. I think we can get Beniers here. Again, we're not getting enough any of the guys currently on this team. It's a huge add at the deadline. Trades accepted. Okay, so He might be the difference maker for us. I should mention too, I had to trade for a guy like Beniers because we were right up against the salary cap max. You can see there, like we had about $1 million to spare, and that's it. Wow, look at this blockbuster. I've never seen, I don't think, that big of a trade year one. Vegas gets Matvey Michkov. Philadelphia gets Shea Theodore and Chandler Stevenson. Wow. Theodore was the #1 player on the block at the deadline. One of the better offensive defensemen in the game. Stevenson's a solid top 6. Vegas gets Michkov. I did see Phillies actually, kind of like real life, exceeding expectations. They're, currently fighting for a playoff spot. That is crazy. Hayden Fleury, they're able to decline. And yeah, currently, where were they? Second place, or tied for first, technically, with 3 other teams top of the Metro. And they give away Michkov. That's insane. All right, guys, so after picking up Matty Beniers, here's an updated look at the lines. He's playing first line center there between Taylor Hall and Jonathan Marchessault. Hopefully that line continues to pop off. Second line's now even better. We got Bertuzzi actually promoted to it, playing with Couturier and Lafreniere. If you look at Bertuzzi here, he's been killing it this season. 50 points, 28 goals. I figured he deserves some more ice time. Third line's obviously now a lot better. Arvidsson, Domi, Iaffello. Fourth line, you still got Foligno, Janot on the wings. We got Eric Haula now in the middle, replacing Nico Sturm. Defensively, I think it's still the exact same. Power play-wise, I think power play 1 actually left just because they're obviously doing pretty well, but, power play 2's got Beniers on it. In terms of the PK, Beniers is also on the first PK unit with Sean Couturier. So, again, him just being a two-way forward, can play in every situation. Really should help out this team. We just brought in a 1C. Sky's the limit. If they can win the Stanley Cup year 1, that'd be ridiculous. All right, guys, so I just finished swimming through the regular season. We have a record there, 48, 27, and 7, 103 points on the year. This team crushed it. Not as good as the Canucks, 124, or the Avalanche, 112, but they get third place in the NHL. We'll take that for sure. Leading scorer still Marchessault, 84 and 82, so over a point per game for him. I mean, kind of similar to his first year in Vegas. Popped off for them like he's popping off for us. I kind of feel bad he's lost again in the expansion draft, but he seems to thrive on it. Sean Couturier had 71, Hall 70, so the first line's doing good. Bertuzzi 62, playing everywhere in the lineup. Beniers only 59, but let's take a look. How did he do for us? 6 points in 18 games and a -9.
You suck!
What? What the heck? How? 88 overall. Why did he do so bad? I mean, line 1, line 2 is kind of the same. So maybe I'll put Couturier back on line 1. Burns had almost 60 points as a D-man. Arvidsson, Riley there, both had 50 plus as well. Lafreniere close to 50. He hasn't gone up in rating, but he did well. Domi 47. I mean, yeah, so I think we have to make that one change. Put Beniers on second line center. Swayman carrying this team. MVP, I think. 9-1-3 save percentage. 2-8 goals against. Even Varlamov there. Very solid numbers. And if you guys are curious, Matthews there taking that Ross Trophy. 116 points. He actually had a bunch of guys there with 100 plus. Goals also goes to Matthews, 56. And I look at the entire league here, guys. You can see we finished 4th place there. I feel like that's pretty solid for an expansion team year 1. And our goals for, which I was actually worried about, was 7th best in the NHL. Goals against here, we were 4th best. So, I mean, yeah, like we were one of the best teams here. Hopefully now we can just get lucky in the playoffs. Sam, I got to remember to move Couturier back to first line center because that first line was clicking. Beniers, didn't seem to really work there. We actually get no boost if we do that. Interesting. I mean, Bertuzzi's been too good to take off the second line. Lafreniere, though, we could maybe put Arvidsson there. Move Bertuzzi over to the left wing. I feel like that should be fine. So here we go, guys. We got the Florida Panthers in round 1. First 2 games here in Quebec. OT win followed by a loss. Another OT win, another loss. Okay, so we either win in OT or we lose 4-1 is what I'm seeing here. Game 5 back home in Quebec. 3-1 win. Just have to win one of these next 2. And we do. All right, so we take Florida out in 6. Obviously, they made the Stanley Cup final last year, representing the Eastern Conference. So take them out round 1. I would say it's pretty impressive. Next year, we got the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, we made that big trade with them, getting Riley, Domi, Bertuzzi. Home ice advantage. We get a win and a loss. Come on. Next 2 games in Toronto. 7-5 wins, 6-5 OT wins, some high-scoring games, and we come out on top of both of them. 3-0 win there. Take out the Leafs in 5. Are you kidding me? And now we have the Philadelphia Flyers, the other team we made a big trade with. Sean Couturier, of course, on our side. Sent a bunch of stuff back their way. They made that trade, though, with Vegas. Getting Shea Theodore, Chandler Stevenson from Michkov. Let's see what happens. We have the home ice advantage. They beat us game 1, 2-1. 4-1 win. Sean Couturier, he's got to show up here against the old squad. In Philly, couple OT wins. We are 1 win away from the Stanley Cup final. Year 1's an expansion team, and we do it. Wow. 3 trades. That's all we made. Drafted our team. We made 3 trades. Seattle and Colorado in the Western Conference final. Going to game 7, and it's the Avs that win. How perfect is this? The Quebec Nordiques, of course, became the Colorado Avalanche. So you had the future team versus the past team. This is awesome, guys. Let's sim this thing period by period. See what happens. 1-1. Ranson and Hall. 3-3. O'Connor and Nichushkin. Marchessault with a couple. And we win it. 4-3 there. Game 1. Let's go. Game number 2 here, guys. 0-0 after 1. 1-0 for the Avs. Barbanov, they must have made a trade for. And 2-1. They hold on. Lafreniere ties it, but Nichushkin there with the game winner. And actually, guys, those first 2 games were in Colorado. I forgot they did really good in the regular season. So, back home in Quebec, game 3. And 0-0 again after 1. 2-0 lead. Sanheim and Arvidsson. And, wow, the Avs come back. Lafreniere again. They get a couple late. 42 seconds there to tie it. And we hold on. Marcus Foligno, the OT hero. Let's go. And so here we go, guys. Game number 4 now. Nordiques Avs tied 1 apiece. Marchessault, another goal. 2-1. Lafreniere, he's been playing huge in the Stanley Cup final. Power play goal. And we hold on there. 4-2. Morgan Riley, empty netter. Brent Burns got 1. So the defensemen are getting it done. We're up 3-1 on the Avs. This is insane. I swear to you, like, this is first try. This isn't my, like, 7th time trying this video. This is first try. 3-1 lead on the Avs. You can't write it up better than this. Chance to win the Stanley Cup, our first year as an expansion team. Can we get it done? This, of course, is in Colorado now, game 5. They're up 3-0. Probably. All of a sudden, it's 3-2. All of a sudden, it's 3-2, and we're actually out shooting them. With a chance here to tie it up. Let's see, can these guys get it done? And yeah, the Avs there hold on, beat us 4-2. Forcing game 6, but I mean, the Quebec fans, they've been waiting for a Stanley Cup for, I don't even know, honestly, when Quebec Nordiques became a team. Probably like the 70s, so call it 50 years now they've been waiting for a Stanley Cup. To win one at home, I think, would be worth it. Here we go, game 6, especially against the team that, sort of stole their team. 1-1, Matthew Wood, Matty Beniers. Beniers finally showing up for us. And 3-1 for the Avs. I mean, I'll resume simulation. I doubt we're coming back. So Beniers got 1 more, guys. Unfortunately, it didn't matter. We lost that one 5-2. So unfortunately, not winning at home in front of the, Quebec faithful. Game 7 now. Stanley Cup final. Quebec Nordiques versus the Colorado Avalanche. The Nordiques went to Colorado and won the Stanley Cup that first year. I'm sure the Quebec fans were so pissed. They have a chance to make up for all of that. Here we go. First period. We're down 1-0. Second period. It's still 1-0. Oh my goodness. Can they do it, or do the Avalanche get the last laugh? Come on, find a way. Power play. We have a pretty good power play. Unfortunately, the Avs, they're able to kill it off. Rantanen, there's no way. 3-1 series lead. There's no way. 2-0 now. 5 minutes to go in this one. Wow. I mean, it's almost poetic. Quebec becomes the Avalanche, wins the Stanley Cup the first year, and then Quebec loses the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup final their first year as an expansion team. Wow.
You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And look at this guy, Chicago again picking first overall there. Imagine they actually get Celebrini in real life. Him and Bedard would be so nasty together. Quick look here too, guys, at the playoff stats. Marchessault popped off over a point per game. Couturier and Hall both had 20, so that first line, reuniting them, was definitely the play. Beniers did fine, I think, on the second line. Burns at 18 as a D-man. Let's see, Swayman stats, 9-1-2, 279. Varlamovs were even better. They were actually super impressive, so I think just got unlucky there. You can see our road to the Stanley Cup. Never had to play a Game 7 until the final. Avs beat out the Kings in the first round, Blues in the second, and then the Kraken, of course, in the conference final. And now look at the team awards here, guys. Obviously, Avalanche Stanley Cup. Now, we did get the Prince of Wales, so at least it's something here. Would have been really nice to win that Stanley Cup, though. Matthews, Art Ross Trophy. Tavares got the Hart. Oh my gosh. How did he get the Hart? Well, he's on the same team as Matthews, and Matthews had more points. I'll never understand that in this game. McCarr, James Norris, Pasternak, Lady Bing. Rosso Calder, interesting. Outscored Bedard. McKinnon, Conn Smythe. Demko there got the Vezina. Urson, though. William Jennings with the Flyers. Wow, split it actually with Cal Peterson. Ruda, Bill Masterton. Come on, St. Louis coach Jack Adams. How did we not get that? First year's an expansion, Stanley Cup final, just like Vegas too, who actually lost, I just realized. It's like the expansion team curse. Kopitar, Selke, Tavares, Ted Lindsay, and then Matthews there, of course, with the Maurice Richard. So I was really hoping, guys, we could have won the Stanley Cup. I can't believe it came down to the final game, and the team just choked it. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you guys have not subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.